morning, YouTube. How are you this morning? I'm not too bad. Not too bad at all. A little wet, a little chilly, but otherwise I'm good. It is about 10 o'clock Central Time, and I am in Livermore, Kentucky at Advanced Feeding Systems. Actually, it's a little sub-company behind them called Custom Construction and Building Materials. They build feed sheds and things like that for farms. Kind of cool. After I left yesterday, I stopped in Meridian, Mississippi at the Pilot. Took a shower, then bought fuel, and took off. I had planned on trying to make it all the way here, but the weather and the roads conspired against me. The weather itself wasn't too bad, although it was really windy and misty. And the roads were kind of slick and messy because they have been pre-treating the roads in Tennessee and Kentucky in preparation for this ice storm that is due later today into the morning. It's supposed to be pretty bad, actually. So I ended up stopping in Murray, Kentucky at the Walmart. There's a truck stop there, and I went to the truck stop first, and it was packed. So I went on down, went to the Walmart, which is a good thing because I needed to go shopping anyway. I needed some things. I ripped out the ass of a pair of pants yesterday. They were just wore out as it was, and because I have a tendency to wear worn out jeans because these get dirty so much. Well, I was climbing in the truck, and I guess I hooked it on a bungee and ripped it at the seam from the butt all the way down. So I was kind of flashing the universe for a couple minutes, or a couple seconds anyway. So I had to throw those away, and I had another pair that had a rip in the leg, so I threw those away too, and bought 2 new pairs of jeans and some food and other stuff. Because I was almost out of everything here, because I have a tendency to eat a lot, especially when I can cook. So I got there at roughly 8 p.m. 8:30 p.m. And parked the truck, went inside, did all my shopping, went to bed after I uploaded the video for yesterday. And got up this morning at 6:30 to find, actually I woke up about 10 minutes before my alarm, maybe 15 minutes, due to a loud crash. And when I woke up, I was like, someone hit the truck. It wasn't. My refrigerator door had fallen off. And the pin that holds it in is nowhere to be found. So I had to fashion a new one from a bad bungee. Broke off the thing, using the thing now to hold the refrigerator door on. I'm not sure what the problem is. So I got a bungee hook in the pin now, and I need to make a more permanent solution until they can get it fixed. Though they told me there's not much they can do about it other than replace the refrigerator, and they're not going to do that. So probably only going to be in this truck another 6 weeks maybe, so I'll just deal with it the way it is, figuring out how to keep it closed. Well, it stays closed, just the hinge is broken. So I went ahead and got up, threw out the trash because I had put all my stuff away the night before, and then checked the load, and then took off. It was really, really windy last night, and there was a little bit of driving rain, so the load was wet, or the tarps were wet. I took off and had a nice tailwind coming up here, and then I cut it through the back roads in Tennessee Kentucky on Kentucky 85 to get from 69 over to 431. Nice little drive through some really cute little towns. No shoulder. I love that kind of driving as long as there's no one trying to crowd me off the road. So I got here, checked in. They brought me here to the back, and they're getting the stuff off. I was very surprised. It was really windy. It's raining, or was raining. They helped me untarp and fold up my tarps. I had to roll them up, put them away, but that's okay. And then get the straps off, put those away. Now they got 2 gigantic Gerdau, Garrel forklifts trying to get this stuff off, but the forks are too big for the slats between the bundles, so they're having a hell of a time. But they're getting it done. They're almost done. They got like 4 stacks left. So I'll be getting out of here in a minute. I have a load I'm picking up down in Nashville at in La Vergne, Tennessee, pick up some steel tubing, and that's going to Corsicana, Texas. The dispatch says the load delivers on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Okay. They want it on Saturday, they can get it on Saturday. That will get me home for the weekend. And since Corsicana is right next to the house, no worries for me. Because I can just go home and then come back to work on Monday and be happy, happy, happy. Though probably, depending on how the unload works on Saturday, I may not get a reset. We'll just have to see. As long as I start work by 10 a.m. on Monday, everything will be all right. So that's where we stand. I'm not going to show this unload video because it was raining during most of it and you couldn't see anything anyway. But I guess we'll talk when I get down to La Vergne. See you later. Good evening, YouTube. How are you this evening? I don't know how I am. I'm conflicted. When last we talked, I was heading down to Nashville, or La Vergne, Tennessee, to pick up those steel tubing. The drive down was really cool. I took US 431 all the way. I was already on 431, and 431 headed down to 24 at the edge of Nashville, and then cut through Nashville down to where I was going to pick up. I ended up taking a road that I guess at some point it finally dawned on me when I drove by Logan Aluminum that 431 is a truck route, but it's not a recommended truck route. And after I finished driving it and got past Logan, I kind of thought about it, and I was like, I can see their point. It was a fun drive. There's no shoulder, 2-lane U.S. highway, through the hills and everything. But I was empty, so I didn't have any problems. I can imagine that road is pretty rough if you're loaded coming out of Logan, because they tell you in orientation, or I should say, they tell you in hands-on training during the training for Logan Aluminum. And I think I mentioned this during my orientation videos. I don't remember. But that when you leave Logan, if you need to go north, don't take 431. And I can see what they're talking about now. Running it empty is just fine, but maybe running it with a couple of 30,000 pound, 25, 30,000 pound or heavier aluminum skidded coils would be a rough ride. It is a coal road. It's rated at 85,000 pounds for coal trucks, and I passed, or I should say I went by several on that road today, and they look like they were having a little bit of issues on it. But running empty was okay. So it's not a forbidden road, but it's a good road. So 431 down to Nashville. That road was running out until I got to Nashville on 24, and that's when traffic started to pick up. There's a pilot at the end of the street where the shipper was, and I stopped in there and bought fuel, and went to the head, and then headed on down there. I got there at 1:30. My appointment was for between 2 and 4. I sat there for about 40 minutes as it drizzled on and off before they told me to pull in and back up against this building so they could put the stuff on it. I'm carrying 50 bundles, and I think there's 20 in a bundle of 1.5 inch steel pipe. They're 109 inches long. It's pretty much taking the whole trailer. I got it strapped to the nines. I'm using all the winches. I'm using 3 or 4 2-inch straps as well. I got it all. I think I over secured it, but I'm paranoid about pipe and stuff and bar. Especially because I like to belly wrap every bundle of stuff like that to keep them from sliding to side. And actually I ended up running out of winches and stuff before I could finish doing it the way I wanted to. And then I had to tarp it, and the tarps barely fit on. I mean, it's literally, they're right there. I think mostly because the way it's loaded, because of the weight, part of it is hanging off the end of the trailer by about a foot. And they could have put the whole thing on the trailer, but they loaded it back some. And I scaled it and it's fine. But the tarps are kind of, it was a real pain in the butt. And I had intended on adding a loading video to today's blog, but I was just looking at the footage and I didn't realize that the camera in the back was totally obscured by mud and stuff. So there is no loading video. I apologize for that. But y'all seen me load pipe before, but this was just kind of interesting because it's, like I said, it's 50 bundles, and the way they're laid out, they're 2 high all the way down, and then there's a third layer on top with 2 extras hanging off the back. So it's actually pretty cool because stuff, as far as way it's loaded, is nice and even. The tarp's not, of course, because it goes up and down across the load, but it still looks kind of good. After I finished loading, I started heading out, and I had plenty of time actually to get to West Memphis, but I spent almost 2 hours trying to get out of Nashville on 24, 440, and 40, and so I really only made it as far as where I am now, which is Jackson, Tennessee, at the Pilot. And it's a pretty good drive down. No issues. The weather's to the north of me, so I'm not experiencing any of that. The wind is picked up, though. It's coming from the north now as opposed to it was from the south. The only thing that worth mentioning is that I was driving down the highway. I was on I-40 passing Holiday, and the driver's side fairing bumper fell off the truck. I was just driving along, minding my own business, and I heard this pop, and then I started hearing a squealing sound. I thought maybe I'd blown the steer tire because the truck was leaning a little bit. So I pulled off the side of the highway, got out and looked, and the bumper, you know how Freightliners are, the front grille is fixed and there's 2 side pieces that fit on for the bumper. The driver's side one popped out of the mounts and was rubbing against the tire, and the fog lamp is gone. So I called Extended Services, told them about it. They said that shouldn't cost me any safety points. That's considered mechanical. Because I didn't hit nothing, not since my accident. And when I hit it back then, there was no damage. So it's damaged now. The tire's practically rubbed a hole through it, and the part of the rubber on the tire's worn down on one corner now. So I need to get a new tire. So I talked to Extended. They told me what to do. I sent in my macro when I got here. And I got to take pictures in the morning in the light because I can't see anything at night. Send those in. I was going to stop in Little Rock anyway and wash the truck. So I'm going to stop and let safety look at it, decide what they're going to do. I know that they do not like you to drive around with damaged equipment. So I'm not sure if they're going to make me move into a new truck or not. Or if they're just going to if they're going to go ahead. I know they have spare parts and spare body parts there. I see them all the time. Or they're going to put a new one on real quick or what. If they try to move me into a new truck or tell me they're going to move me into a new truck, that's cool. I could do it. It'd take me about 4 hours to do it. You know, I just move everything in mass and worry about setting everything up later over the weekend when I'm home. But if they do that, I'm going to go ahead and ask to get into a single truck. Because I don't think there's that many trainer trucks available right now. I don't know. I'm probably jumping the gun. They're probably just going to make me deal with it for now until they can get me in to get it worked on. We'll just have to see what happens. So it's been kind of a weird, eventful day. So this will be the last message until Saturday, and I'll talk to y'all after I deliver on Saturday, unless I got something to say when I'm in Little Rock tomorrow. So until Saturday, keep the shiny side up. 73s. Be safe.